Vice Chancellor, Nkumba University, Professor Lubega, and through you, the entire management of this great university, the Guild President of Nkumba University, Your Excellency, and through you, the entire student body of this university and other universities and schools that are here today, the President of the Integrity Ambassadors Club of Nkumba University, President Emon, and your entire team. Through you, my Reverend and friend, Reverend Kayemba, who blessed this occasion, and other religious leaders that are here today. My team from the Inspectorate of Government, led by Director Penyui, who was here, but most important of all, the students of the different universities and schools that are here today, because you are the ones for whom this function, this event was organized. I'm very happy to be here today. First of all, I want to thank you, Vice Chancellor, for the warm reception that we received since we came. I also want to thank the organizers from the Inspectorate of Government and Nkumba University for putting up this event. I know that, especially for the students and management, you have to take time away, students, from your books, you have to take time away from your family and from your social life, which is also very important for people your age. I know it's very important. So while other people are having social life, you were organizing this. So I appreciate that you put in that time. And I want to thank all the people that took this podium before me, the people that preceded, the speakers that preceded me, His Excellency the Guild President, Ambassador, Integrity Ambassadors, the Director, and the Vice Chancellor. Thank you, all of you, for the words of wisdom that you spoke. And especially, I want to thank the Vice Chancellor for the last statement where you encouraged President Emon to leave a legacy of establishing integrity clubs in schools and institutions around Entebbe, and also his commitment to support this. Please give that idea a very big hand clap. And I want to assure you that we shall also support you and walk the journey with you. The topic we are talking about today is tackling the cost of corruption in Uganda and the role of young people. Of course, you can't talk about tackling corruption in Uganda without first understanding the cost of corruption. So I want to tell you the cost of corruption, and I hope that it will shock you, that it will annoy you, that it will incite you to get up and do something about it, because it hurts us all very much. A recent study was done, Mr. Vice Chancellor and students. A recent research was done by the Inspectorate of Government in 2021 on the cost of corruption in Uganda. And it was established that Uganda loses a minimum of 10 trillion shillings per year to corruption. This is researched study. Uganda loses up to 10 trillion shillings per per year to corruption. Now, you may not know it, but the total amount of money we collect, the total domestic revenue of Uganda is about 27 trillion shillings. So out of 27 trillion shillings, which we collect, 10 trillion is lost to corruption. Then we go and look for donors and we ask them to top up, which we call budget support. But 10 trillion has been taken by a few people from our total taxes. A few people have taken it. And that money should be providing services for us. They have told us also that research how that money is lost. Most of that money is lost in procurement issues. Construction of roads, payroll, other things that government buy. That's where all the money gets lost. We have also found out that the cause of corruption is actually the beginning of corruption begins with violating rules and regulations. That corruption happens at the tail end. I want the student leaders especially to understand this. Corruption happens at the tail end of a process that begins by violating rules and regulations. That's when the cracks begin. When you violate laws in administration of your functions or your responsibilities, then the cracks begin. When the cracks begin in that process, at the end of the process, you have corruption. And the corruption has been estimated to be about 10 trillion shillings per year. I want to put this 10 trillion shillings per year in some context. In Uganda, we have about 10,000 parishes. Parishes are what? Emiruka. In Uganda, we have about, slightly more, but about 10,000 parishes. Now, if we saved the 10 trillion and divided it among the parishes, each parish in Uganda would get 1 billion shillings per year. 1 billion. Now imagine what 1 billion shillings per year would do to your parish. Go back home. You know your parish, where your parents come from. Go back home and consider if your parish was to get 1 billion shillings per year, which we lose in corruption. How would your parish look? Your parish would be a shining parish. So, because money is lost in corruption, we have poor service delivery. That's why we don't have medicine in hospitals. We have poor roads. We have issues with education. We have so many things. The poor quality of services in Uganda is a direct result of the money that is lost. The money for us we collect it, taxpayers. I want you to understand how big taxes are, how much you get involved in in paying taxes, my dear sons and daughters, and some of you even grandchildren. You begin to pay taxes the moment you are born. When your mother puts you there, and the midwife takes a razor blade to cut the umbilical cord from your mother, that's when you start paying taxes. From the kajirita, the razor blade that cuts your umbilical cord and separates you from your mother, you pay a tax on that kajirita. And you pay taxes all your life, from the water that washes you at that minute, the soap, the powder, the basin, the nappy, my pamper these days, whatever you use in the first 5 minutes of your life, you pay taxes on that. All your life, everything you use, you pay taxes until you die. And let me tell you, even when you die, you continue to pay taxes. There's a tax on the coffin. And yesterday I went to get my mother's birth certificate, and I still have to pay tax of 5,000 on the certificate just to say that this woman died. I even paid 5,000 for a piece of paper which says this woman died. That's when you stop paying taxes. Now you pay those taxes all your life, all of us. And someone is just there. The reason you pay taxes is so that you get services, so that the roads are good, so that when you go to hospital there are medicines, so that when you go to school the teachers are well paid and motivated, so that you should get computers, all of you. Each student should have a computer with the 1 billion shillings that you get you should be getting in your parish. That is enough to buy a computer for every student. 1 billion a year in a parish. But you can't do that because a few people, very few people, steal that money. That's why we can't get these things. And that's why I said that when you hear me talk, you should be very angry and do something about it. And government have put in place the infrastructure to fight corruption. We have a very robust legal regime to fight corruption, beginning with the Constitution of Uganda, the anti-corruption agencies such as the Inspectorate of Government Act, the Office of the Auditor General, PPDA, State House Anti-Corruption Unit. All those are legal regimes to fight corruption. And on top of the legal regimes, then we have those are the infrastructure. Then we have the laws. We have the anti-corruption law. We have the illicit enrichment law. We have the embezzlement of bribe. The lawyers can tell you, this country has laws and laws. Every time we get annoyed, we make a law to fight corruption. Even in the whole world, when we don't get corruption done, we create another institution. We are members of regional and global efforts through our partnerships, the East African Anti-Corruption Agencies, the African Anti-Corruption Agencies, the Commonwealth, and we are members of all those. We are also members of the United Nations Anti-Corruption Convention. We are members, we pay. We are very active in fighting corruption. Through all those regimes, we fight corruption. And we have the agencies, Inspector General of Government, Office of the Editor General, DPP, Police, State House Anti-Corruption Unit. Out of the frustration, the President has even added another one, the Anti-Corruption Unit, specifically focusing on investors. You heard that, eh? So, all that effort, not just in Uganda, but in the whole world, is by government. Then there is also effort by civil society. Civil society efforts are also there. We have so many NGOs all fighting corruption throughout the world. But why is corruption not going away is the question. Why is it not going away in spite of all these efforts, which take so much money, so much time, so much effort? Why is corruption not going away? So for us, in the Inspectorate of Government, when we sat down in our boardroom to ask ourselves this question, why is corruption not going away? And the answer was, one of the answers is because we are not really engaging the masses to fight corruption. And the masses are the real victims of corruption. But we are not engaging them. We are leaving all these institutions and all these efforts to fight corruption, but where do they fight it? They fight it in air-conditioned boardrooms. They fight it by air tickets traveling abroad to have conventions in smart cities and five-star hotels. A lot of that is going on. A lot of that is going on. If you go and check the airlines, you'll be shocked with how much travel and per diem is invested in fighting corruption by people traveling to attend workshops, to attend whatever, to do print stationery and promotional material. So much money, but corruption is not going away. So for us, we thought at the Inspectorate of Government is that one of the serious missing links is the real victim of corruption is not engaged in this war. The real victim of corruption, who is the masses, are largely observers of what is going on, and at best commentators on social media now, commentators in the media. They are not involved in the war as they should, because they have not understood how corruption hurts them. They have not understood that they are the real victims of corruption. They have not understood that all the taxes they pay from the day they are born until they will die, all those taxes are supposed to give them services, but they're not getting the services because someone is taking money that they pay and that they must do something about it. The traditional way of fighting corruption has been throughout the world, like I said, is to create institution after institution, agency after agency, civil society organization after civil society organization, spend more and more resources with each institution that you create. But the masses, who are the real victims of corruption, who feel the pinch of corruption, are not involved in the war. We are here to involve you in the war, because as the Waganda say, nanyini mufu yakola ki? Nanyini mufu yakwata wakola ki? And I think the English says something about the pinch in the shoe. The one who is wearing the shoe is the one, how do they say?
The one who wears the shoe.
The one who wears the shoe is the one who feels the pinch.